Hi guys, I hope you're doing good. Today in this YouTube video, I'm going to quickly explain uh, project implementation and how it works. Project implementation, I'm coming, let me get my sandals. I don't think I need them. Project implementation, how it works is that it can be a different approach in school, business, or and work. For example, me, I had plans to start a web development business. Before I get into that, I wanted to my project implementation strategy was to do online courses, like basic crash courses, Udemy courses, like learn HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. I already learned that at varsity, but I wanted to further my skills by learning them from online. And when I understand the foundation, I can dive myself into front end development, and that is when I will, and a little bit of back end, and that is when I will have basic exposure to building professional websites. Then probably create a portfolio, like say, welcome to my website. This is Willy Banda, and I have like 5 projects or demos of my work, and I make sure they trend by telling my friends tell their friends, social media spread out. And it's not like I become famous, but I become well known to the point where my plan was to at least get South African social media influencers to say, you know what, um, as much as I have Instagram and social media, I would also like a website. And then I charge them for that website, and small time entrepreneurs, I charge them. That is the plan. It failed. Probably I'll revisit some other time, because when you get into a business, it is, you experience a lot of burnouts. It's a lot of time, energy, and money. So I was like, okay, that won't work. Don't take my advice on the business side, but that's an idea I had. On the school side, how I can give experience on that, because I've been schooling for 4 years, so I have sort of an idea how projects work. You need to find out what problem are you trying to solve. That is how you begin. What problem are you trying to solve? For example, my project idea was to build my project idea was to build it was like a group work. I did it this year. It was to find a problem and bring a solution that is innovative, has a lot of machine learning, not too much on automation. So the idea was to come up with a software app. Maybe you can think of what do you call this? Our idea was an auto repair management system. We implemented that. We were like, guys, we provided documentation. We said, lecturer, please look at our documentation. It's an auto repair shop management system where customers can go online and order car parts based on their nearest mechanic shops and whatnot. He said that won't work because it's automation. There are already systems out there for that. It's just pointless. It's automation. It's heavy database intense. We're talking about storing data sets of car parts and all that. So it was data intense on the database side. It was kind of impossible, because now I have to go to each mechanic and learn what parts they are selling, and then I put it online. It just His point is that it wouldn't work. It's not innovative. Not a lot of people are going to use that and say, wow, this is great. It lacks a lot of machine learning, things like that. So then we were like, okay, if that's not going to work, what about a shopping app, like an app that tells you ShopRite at Auckland Park is much cheaper than the ShopRite there. Like, those apps where you just look at prices and whatnot. That also didn't work, was rejected. We were thinking of a lot of ideas. One thought of like a system whereby students can apply to universities. Like matric students can put their APS scores and marks, and it would display which university they qualify for, which course they qualify for. That is already out there. You need something that's new and innovative, and that idea is like a second year idea. It's like this typical second year IT computer science idea. You are at an advanced level, advanced diploma, you need to think of something more innovative, or creating a library management system. One thought of creating a WhatsApp chatbot, but that's a feature, it wouldn't work. So we ran out of ideas. We were like, what, let's actually consult. It's getting too bad. We tried to consult. We consulted our lecturer. He had his own ideas of like you buying robot tools and building a robot. So we were like, what, the best people to consult is, I came up with the idea to set up meetings with the young student lecturers. We're talking about your people who are doing higher qualifications, who once did your course, they're doing something higher. We're talking about people who once did your course and they are lecturers now. A much younger consultation. I booked meetings with them on Teams. I've never really met them face to face, but I see them on LinkedIn that they did my course there at UJ. Boom. Had meetings with them. They gave us great suggestions, good ideas to look at, to think of what are our strengths and weaknesses. Also, they encouraged us to make use of ChatGPT. You use ChatGPT to research what idea has a lot of machine learning and can we implement. That's when Traffic Predictor app was born from GPT. We made use of that. We documented and presented to the lecturer. He was impressed. He gave us a warning that this can be data intense. You never know how you're going to predict traffic. So yeah, we went on to trying to build the app and document it as much as possible. It was kind of impossible. How do you predict traffic? Based on weather and which date, it's impossible. So we looked at something called Fuel Predictor app. It's going to predict fuel in the next 2 years using machine learning and some data sets, some data from some weather forecasting websites. And also it's got, we can integrate Google Maps API on it to display geographical locations and all that stuff, add cool features, chatbot. That is more machine learning. We document it as much as possible, present it to the panel, they were happy. So yeah, that's how it works for school. It's a bit long, but that's how it's implemented. When it comes to work, I'm working in an environment whereby we're now looking at automation. We're doing everything in an Excel spreadsheet or doing things manually. We want to do things in a way of, instead of logging a ticket on email, why not find a software that helps manage tickets and people can log tickets on? That's where my idea was implementing Desk 365. I didn't just go to my manager and say, here's Desk 365. When it comes to implementing a project at work, you need to show them these are the top 5 projects I thought of, and then you break it down to top 4, and then you further break it down to top 2. When it comes to these things, especially at work, you must put a lot of Excel spreadsheets, a lot of documentation and serious comparison, and that's how decision making is done. When you compare, that's how businesses make decisions based on costs, scalability, how many users can it host, does it integrate with what we have like Microsoft 365, things like that. And Desk 365 was born. Currently now we are looking at remote tools and other interesting software like asset management, inventory systems. But it's a big project. It's not easy. You're gonna get fatigued because you're busy with other things. I don't just go to work and look for projects. There's other tasks I have to attend to. So it takes a lot of time. But all I can say when it comes to business is that you need to be consistent, when you're keeping up with the business, in my view, the way I see it is you need to start by being consistent at the gym. Then obviously you are going to be consistent in business. Like probably you don't have time, you only have the weekends to work on your business, focus on that. Or it can get to a point where you need to work on it late nights after work, things like that. When it comes to schoolwork, it needs a lot of collaboration in terms of project implementation. Work with your people, communicate with your group members as much as possible, and be honest with each other on their thoughts and share ideas, and also consult. Don't just stick to your lecturer. Consult with your fellow, it can be your classmates, student lecturers, tutors, superiors, anyone. Consult with them as much as possible. Those guys play a key role into your academic future. The reason why my project, the idea went well, in terms of presentation and everything, it was because of them. They are the reasons why it went well, and we were honest with each other. And also, documentation is key. Once you document everything, you won't go wrong. Documentation is key. When you get to the program, you see why. Same applies at work. I might be doing IT support, not coding at work. But when it comes to finding solutions, documentation is key. You are comparing different systems all together and sitting down as a group and making business decisions. You also demo the application. You have you have the right to ask the service providers or the people presenting the application that I want a discount in this. Do you offer discounts? I know my trial has ended when I was testing the software. Please extend my trial. They speak to their managers to extend the trial because you're a potential customer. You work for Dis-Chem Live, but you are running the show. You are the one in charge. You are the one who makes a call. You are in charge of your own project. You need to show them that. You need to be very aggressive when it comes to this. Tell them that, look, I want to demo this application, extend my trial. I want to set up remote meetings with you. I've tested 1, 2, 3. Construct a list of questions. Meetings. Document everything. Record your meetings. Documentation is key so that when you sit down, you've got everything that, okay, from the internet, I researched that it costs this. I also researched that what it's capable of. Maybe you can include the pros and cons, advantages and disadvantages, the costs. Does it make sense? You can't charge per user. You must charge a group or sets of users. How is the payment arrangement? Does your company help pay monthly, or is the software telling you pay yearly, but your own company is a monthly paying type of company? You cancel that. You look at what does the business need? What do you need? And what can the software offer? That's how you implement things. That's how I implemented Desk 365. It's a ticketing system that like I'm telling you, it changed my life. It made my work life easier. I gained respect because of that. A big reputation. It looks good on my CV. And the nice thing about working for a company that's, I don't want to use the word startup, but a company that's like growing, forever growing, is that you can always put ideas, not a company whereby you work for corporate and you find out these are the systems they are using, deal with it, and you don't make the decisions or suggestions on what, So there's many more opportunities. I can do my research on anything I want, networking tools, anything. I present it to the team and my manager. Which one do you guys like? If you like this one, let's set up a meeting with the sales people who are selling this product. Eventually, they're gonna buy into it. They're gonna offer discounts. You negotiate. Have strong negotiation skills. You are at the power. You're at their mercy. They want to make deals with you. Then also you do your compliance. You also look at data privacy of the applications you want to release. Like, where are they storing our data? Is it somewhere secure? Are they certified? You obtain that certificate or that part of the website, share the link to the compliance department to verify, are these guys legit? Are they keeping our information very private and secure? Do they have a certificate of compliance? Governance. These are things you need to look at, research about them, make use of GPT. What does it mean? What do I need to do? But one thing I can tell you is that documentation is key. When it comes to implementing and releasing a product, documentation is key. Your sprint meetings, those things play a big role. We can't just do word of mouth about a project and you don't know where you are, what progress you've made. Completing something is important, but what matters more is the progress, not the completion, because now with completion you are rushing. So that is how it works, and I hope this helps and gives you an idea on what you should look for. Thank you.